And there we are. We're live. What's up, everybody? I am Glenn from Beauty Angels Academy, and I've got a really fun webinar for you today. Would you like to know how Roslyn, who's in the other screen, in very short succession, went from being a bartender to a multiple six-figure earning microblading artist? Would you like to know? Because you're going to find out in this webinar. Here we go, Roslyn. Let's do it. Are you curious if a career in microblading might change your life? Well, let me welcome you to 6 Digit Club Success Stories, where we feature interviews with our microblading students who are creating fulfilling careers and financial freedom they never had before. You'll learn how they started, how they achieved their success, and how you can follow in their footsteps. Join us, and let's find out if a career in microblading is for you. And what's up, everybody? All right, so we're back. I'm Glenn. I am your host of the 6 Digit Club Microblading Career Success Stories webinar. In the other screen, we've got Roslyn Koenig. Roslyn, say what's up to everybody.
Hey, guys. How are you?
All right, so listen, Roslyn does about 20. How many did you do this past month?
Last month I had 26, and I'm on board to hopefully double that this month.
Oh my God, this is insane. What this girl is doing in the world of microblading, she's like just think of the space shuttle taking off, and that's Roslyn Koenig. It's the Roslyn Koenig shuttle going up. Okay, so she's doing amazing. But wait till you heard that she did 26 last month, and she's on track to double that this month. But ask her. Or let's ask her, how much do you charge per treatment?
I charge $650 for microblading treatment and $750 for blade and shade.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, How many treatments did you do last month? Oh my God.
26. Do the math.
That is insane. That's a lot. Okay, yeah. It's a lot. Anyway, we're going to get all into Roslyn's story, how she's doing this, how she's built such a fast-growing business. And I have just a couple quick things to share with you guys before we do. All right. So for those of you who've never participated in our webinar before, it's going to go about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how many questions we have for her and how everything goes here. If you hang out with us until the end, we've got a nice little gift for you. All right. That gift is we've got lots of different business building programs. One of those programs is called the Microblading Career Test Drive, where it's a program that we sell for $200, and we sell lots of these business building programs on our website, but we're going to give it to you for free if you hang out until the end of the webinar, if you're registered and actually in the webinar, okay, not watching on YouTube or Facebook, but actually in the webinar. And it gives you sort of insight into what it's like to be someone like Roslyn with a successful microblading business, and what's it like when the client comes in, you do a consultation, how do you prep for the procedure, how do you actually perform the procedure and the follow-up with the client. All of that is in it, video. It's really cool, and we're going to give it to you for free, okay? That's a nice little gift for all of you. My promise to those of you who hang out with us until the end, you will know by the end of this webinar how Roslyn made this success story, okay? You're going to find out how she went from 0 to where she is today. I'm going to ask her all the questions that you might want to ask, and I'll make sure that we get those questions answered, and you have a good idea of how she actually did this and how you also can follow in her footsteps. And so check this out. You see behind me, I've got Roslyn. What do I have over here?
That's the Beauty Angels kit.
Yes.
That's gold.
Right. So we have we have the advanced kit over here, and we've got the premium kit back here. And I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek into the actual kit. And I'm also going to show you some of the course material. Roslyn, I'm going to show them some of the course material so they can actually see how someone can actually learn this and follow in your footsteps. Does that sound good?
Oh, this is a treat.
Okay. Cool. So let me see if I left anything out. Hold it. This webinar is for you guys. If you're interested in a career in microblading, we're going to go over a lot of things here. Hopefully you walk away with something valuable. And I just want you to know that anyone can do this. Really. I think Roslyn will tell you, anyone can do this. You don't have to be a magical artist who can take a blank piece of paper and just create art out of the heavens and pull it through. You don't have to do that. If you can follow instructions and do step by step, you can learn how to do this. And with all that being said, Roslyn, you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's do this. All
right, let's do it. So the first thing that I would like to do is take everybody over to your Instagram page. All right. Yeah. And so, Roslyn, some of the people who watch these webinars don't know exactly what microblading is. And wait a second, something just occurred to me that I forgot I was going to surprise you with.
Oh, I love surprises.
Guys, check this out. Roslyn is in her new place right here. She's going to tell us about it. Like, she literally just moved into her new place. She's got a lot of things going for her. And we just decided to make an exception, okay, for our 6-digit club. You're looking at the new qualifying member of 6-digit club, because normally you have to maintain the level of income that would equate to 6 figures per year for an extended period of time in order to qualify for 6-digit club. But in your case, you've so far surpassed it, and you've done it multiple months in a row, and you're on a trajectory to not only have you qualified for this, but like to double and triple this. So this girl is doing so amazing, folks, that we're going to send this to you by mail. Okay. And when you get it, take a picture, send it to me, and we're going to add you to the 6-digit club.
Oh, you guys will see it. It's going right on the wall.
Nice. All right. So
thank you.
With that being said, let's very first thing I want to get to is let's show everybody. If you'd like to follow Roslyn, here's where you would do it on Instagram. It's roslyn.koenig, Koenig. All right. We'll drop it in the description around this, the replay of the webinar. So everybody's got it, Roslyn. But follow Roslyn, give her, a follow on Instagram, on this video, on Facebook or YouTube. Give her some likes, give her some comments, encouraging her and thanking her for spending some time with us and sharing what she's going to share with us. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you feel so inclined, share this video. Let's try to reach as many people as we can. Yeah. So Roslyn, tell everybody, what is microblading for those people who just don't really even know what it is?
So microblading is a semi-permanent form of tattooing where we place fine strokes, tattooed lines in the eyebrow area that simulate your natural hair to add fullness, dimension, help shape the brow, and just overall transform them. Yeah, looks good. It's really neat. Super natural.
Is this what happens when you get microblading?
Only in my studio.
Okay. Do the nails come with it?
No, that's separate. That's extra.
Gotcha. So anyway, guys, so this is what Roslyn does and what she charges anywhere from $650 to, you said $750 when you add shading. So would you describe what is shading?
So shading is also a semi-permanent tattooing technique where we tap ink into the skin, and it creates this soft, powdery, adds dimension, adds fullness. So my clients that have oily skin or less natural hair, I'll add some extra shading within the middle and end of the brow, tail of the brow, to really make it pop. Gives kind of this 3D. It's so beautiful. It's so soft and natural.
Yes. And so just real quick, you originally learned in Claire's online course. Is that correct?
I took the online course with Claire. I think that was in October, and graduated just short of 5 weeks. It was incredible. Claire's a genius. She's absolutely amazing. She pushed me so hard. I remember being so frustrated and her be like, go back and do it again and do it again. And I'm like, I've done it 10 times. It's perfect. What do you mean? But it was all worth it. It was so worth it. And she, her knowledge is just so vast, and she cares. She cares about me. She cares about every single one of her clients. She puts in work. She's amazing. It was.
And now after that, you came to the Advanced Beauty Angels Microblade and Shade course, right?
I did. I flew out to Florida May 1st and took the live course because I really needed some hands-on to, be able to network and talk and kind of navigate those small little, pieces that are harder to figure out when you're just doing it solo and don't have anyone to converse with.
Yeah.
Some of the blind spots, really be able to navigate through those. It was awesome.
Would you mind, I just want to sort of summarize kind of what's happened for you in the last couple of months real quick, and then we'll go back and explain how you got there. All right. Because I want everyone who's watching here to really understand this is you're a fairly unusual case because you've grown so fast. And, you know, I just want to manage everyone's expectations who's watching this. If you're watching this and you're like, holy crap, I want to be just like Roslyn, and you join one of our courses, and that's great. We're going to support you. And I just want to make sure, you know, not everybody grows as fast as Roslyn. Let me just say that off the bat. But we do have a lot of successful artists, and I'm going to share that with you just in a little bit. You'll see our 6-digit club, which I showed you this award here, and you're going to learn that there's many other artists who've come through our academy who have achieved amazing success, and have what 6-digit club is those people who, like Roslyn, have achieved 6 figures or more from their microblading services. And most of them, you'll find, actually, surprisingly, come from outside the industry. Mm-hmm. They are like Roslyn, Bartender, like Manuela, who I recently recorded a success story with. She was also, interestingly enough, a bartender. But then there was Brent Weed, who is a bartender. You know, they're all bartenders, folks. They're just all, if you're a bartender and you want to do microblading, guaranteed success.
But what I want people to know is that when I started, before I ever even started my microblading training, I was sitting on the other side of this screen watching this exact interview with a different microblading artist. And I don't want Glenn to limit you guys. It is possible. It's absolutely doable. What's the Beauty Angels saying? Sky's the limit. There is no roof. This is not, like 7-tier marketing. You have to reach these levels. I make my own hours. I make my own money. I get to choose, and there is no cap on that. So it's completely doable.
Well, let's tell them some of the numbers so they understand this. So,
okay. You guys want to hear the numbers?
Let's hear the numbers. So February was your first actual month, like working.
I worked on clients, but very few, because I was doing it on the side. I wasn't taking it as seriously. I had a full-time service industry job. So I quit that at the last day in February and went full speed ahead, all in. And I went from seeing like 4, maybe 5 clients the months prior to jumping straight into, in the month of March, I had 16 and then 20 after that.
So March was 16. Uh-huh. April was 20. Mm-hmm. May was?
I did 26 new clients last month.
Okay. June, it's the early part of June. And where are you at for June?
23 clients already on the books, and it's the 11th.
Wow. 23 so far. And so you have another, majority of the month to go. So you're on track to do quite a bit more than you even did last month. And today you're charging $650 for microblading.
Yes.
And how much for, you said, how much was it with shading?
$750 for shading. Yeah.
Okay. Just give everybody an idea. I mean, you guys hear those numbers, and that's like mind-boggling numbers. That's incredible. So we're going to get into how she actually did this. Mm-hmm. But just a couple rapid fire questions. Okay. Yeah. Where is what's the price range in your area for microblading? The low end and the high end?
So in Kansas City, the microblading industry is very untapped and also tapped into, saturated. There aren't a lot of certified microblading artists that know what they're doing. There are a ton of microblading artists because there's no regulation. So there are a lot of people doing it. There aren't a lot of qualified people doing it. So, anywhere from $150 on Groupon to, I am definitely on the higher end. I think $750, $700 about is the cap. So I am at the top of that.
In that month of March, when you said you did, if I'm not mistaken, 20 that was new procedures, right?
16 in March, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. 16 and 20 in April, right? Mm-hmm. So 16 in March, what were you charging that month?
In the month of March, I started at $500 a procedure. And then halfway through March, I decided that it was time to raise my prices, and that if I was going to be true to myself and my training and my skill level and set myself apart, that to value myself, I needed to raise my prices. That's when I raised it $100 to $650.
Gotcha. And so you were at 650 even before you got into April.
Yes. Yep. I did about half and half. So I had 8 clients at $497 was the price that I had set, and 8 clients at $650.
Gotcha. That's remarkable. And so that first month, that real first month of March was just incredibly energizing. I remember you came in April and you were fired up, but you've far surpassed that in the months subsequent to that.
Yeah, it's been insane. It's been really great.
So in that month of March, where did you operate out of? Where'd you work?
I built a studio in my home. It was, so like I said, there's nothing that regulates microblading in the state of Missouri, in Kansas City, where I am. But I have, luckily, quite a few friends. So I had them come and inspect it to make sure that it was up to standard, that all of my equipment functioned properly, was doing spore tests and all the things. But yeah, I built a studio in my home.
And then when did you move into your own place?
So I moved in yesterday. Yesterday morning, I moved into this beautiful new studio. It's been incredible.
So you rented your own place, and how many square feet is it? How much does it cost? Was it a long-term lease?
So it is a beauty community of all kinds of other. It's a co-working space. My room is about 9 by 13, 9 by 12 and a half or so. So it's not a huge area, but I don't need a lot of space. And I rent it for just over $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a salon suite?
Very similar, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so does that include like water, electricity, all those things?
Everything. Yep. Everything's included. Everything's
included. So you have a massively profitable business on your hands.
I also have about 14 other beauty industry like service providers that have full clientele, and there are no other microbladers. So I'm not, it's not a conflict of interest, and they have full clientele. So I don't even really have to market myself. It's really nice.
Wow, that's clever. So you position yourself in such a way that it drives customers to you.
Yeah.
Do they generate, does a referral from any one of those other service providers provide any compensation to them?
So I will be working on a referral. Absolutely. I haven't decided exactly what that will be yet, but I will work on some type of referral to take care of the community that's taking care of me.
Yeah. So, but that's awesome. So you're in this location and you're just absorbing customers who happen to be in the place.
Yeah. With almost completely, a month booked out of my own clientele without it.
Now you just moved into this place, but prior to that, how are you getting customers in your home?
Glenn, I've been really, really fortunate to be able to, position myself as a, be really big about educating people in my area about, why it's important to choose a certified microblading artist and one that's well-trained. And I haven't really done any marketing. I printed off business cards and I think I've put them in maybe like 2 or 3 places, but for the most part, Instagram and Facebook. Instagram being my main source of people that reach out, just posting my work, getting out in front of microblading and talking to people has really served me well.
When you say getting out in front and talking to people, you mean like physically, like meeting people in person?
I guess not getting out.
Staying in and talking to people.
Staying in and talking to people, just talking to people like, this is what needs to happen. This is, if you don't want to come be microbladed by me, that's totally fine. But this is what you should look for. And this is the standard. And you should know your artist and you should know what trainings and certifications they have. The majority of the trainings that are in this area are a 1, maybe 2 day tops participation certificate. So
not working on a live model.
Nothing. It basically means you paid someone to give you a certificate that says I attended. And, when I trained with Master Claire for my very first microblading training, it took me 2 days to learn like the first 4 strokes of an eyebrow, like the first 4 parts of the eyebrow. I don't know how you could learn microblading in that amount of time. It's It's crazy. So yeah, just talking to people about like, this is what you need to be looking for. This is a semi-permanent tattoo. It's on your face. Like, be smart. You never, go get a Groupon for a nose job. Like, like just be smart about it. Make sure you're doing your homework. Yeah.
That conversation about that subject is very powerful.
It absolutely is. And a lot of people need to hear it. And it's sometimes not the first thing that we think when we think of beauty procedures and that kind of thing, but it's huge.
I was going to ask you about that because you had mentioned that Missouri, or the area that you're in within Missouri, is somewhat saturated with lots of artists, right?
Yes.
Lots of artists. But there's a significant difference or variance in the quality of these artists that are out there in your community. So I was gonna bring this up because some people might be watching this webinar and they're like, wow, this is so cool. I'd love to follow in Roslyn's footsteps, maybe take the Beauty Angels course. However, it's there's a lot of competition where I live. And for someone who has that feeling, what would you say to that person?
Well, first off, being able to position yourself as, an educator, as someone who knows the right way to do things, really, that's all that it takes. And all I've had to do is be like, here's why, and I would like, honestly, what I would say to that person is just like, invest in yourself and your craft and it will take you far. Mm-hmm. Anyone can watch a YouTube video and think that they are a microblading artist. It's very easy to do. But there's such, there's so much contradiction in the information that's out there. Invest in yourself, get properly trained and certified, and the quality of your work is going to speak for itself. Mm-hmm. Like I haven't really had to work for where I'm at. And that's not saying that I haven't worked for it. I've worked very hard, but I haven't really had to market myself. I haven't, gone out every single day and handed out flyers or, run promotions. Before even my first month of being all in and doing solely microblading, mm-hmm. I was able to raise my prices and still have people come to me because I present myself as a professional, as the person to go to.
That's such an important point. And I make that point whenever I talk to students, I talk about that a lot because I think that's a really key distinction is presenting yourself as a professional. Because in any industry, Roslyn, there's going to be, especially industries that are have a lot of providers of the service, like hairstylists, like I live here in South Florida. That's where our academy is. And there's lots of brokers, right? Investment brokers. And it tells you two things. Number one, it tells you that there's a lot of money, a lot of people looking to invest money. And that's why there's a lot of brokers. They're attracted to the places where there's a lot of opportunity to perform the service, right? Absolutely. And so it also tells you the same about microblading. If there's a lot of microblading artists, it tells you something that there's a lot of customers looking for the service or opportunity to sell that service and provide that service. But what it also tells you is just like anything, any industry, any opportunity, you're always going to get the 80-20 rule. So for those who are watching that don't know what the 80-20 rule is, it's basically 20% of the people are going to get 80% of the business and 80% of the people are going to get 20% of the business. So you want to be one of the 20% that gets the majority of the business that's out there. And to be one of those 20%, and really, it's more like the 90-10 rule. It's really like the 10% that get 90% of the business, okay? And the way to become that person is to present yourself professionally, because there's a lot of people in the microblading industry or in other areas of the beauty industry or any real estate. Think about real estate. How many of you have a cousin or an uncle who's a realtor? Who's not really a realtor. Everybody's got a realtor in the family, right?
And but also bartends and does 3 other things on the side.
Yes. So in this, we're talking about something that's serious. That involves cutting and tattooing permanent, at least semi-permanent, for a significant period of time, tattoo on your face. And so you want to go to somebody that's qualified. And it sounds to me like Roslyn is really honed in on that. And that's her main message, is that she presents herself as a professional. She's got a beautiful Instagram, a beautiful website, Facebook, and she presents herself as a professional and communicates that message when she talks, and that attracts people. Yes. Am I right on that?
You're 100% right. It is absolutely about, educating people, is really, especially being in a place that is completely unregulated. Anyone can do it out of their basement and, start tomorrow, watch YouTube, and people will go to them. Getting in front of it, like, I'm really interested in, bringing good trainings, bringing Beauty Angels trainings, whatever, to this area and being able to provide that. It's very much educating my clients, even people that aren't interested in microblading, like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to look for. This is a conversation that needs to be had.
Did you feel that at any point, what did you if there was any struggle at all or any concern at all, what was it for you? Honestly.
In microblading altogether?
Yeah, in the career.
Getting clients. Getting clients was my biggest fear. How am I going to do this? Now, I'm financially dependent on it. I've quit my job. I've said goodbye, forget it all. I was worried about getting clients and being able to maintain that. I'm like, okay, I had a great month. Now, how do I keep this going? And not even just going, Glenn, but like, how do I keep this progression? Because this feels good. I work for myself. It's incredibly impactful for all of my clients. Even people that aren't interested in microblading have been like, your story, your journey, your work is so incredibly inspiring. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and what did you find? Like, that was your fear. How am I going to get clients? And what did you find when you got into it?
I found that when I did the work, put the time in, talked to people, it's been easy. Mm-hmm. It's been flowy. It's been incredible. And it kind of just has manifested itself. I make sure that I do the work and that, I do my part and I work very hard, but proper training is so huge. It's so big.
So did you think that you had the artistic talent to do this in the very beginning when you were looking at it the first time?
I did.
I'm sorry, you did or did not?
I did. I have, a fine arts half of a fine arts degree. I've always been into arts. I've always been into aesthetics. I've always been really obsessed and a little bit of like a psycho with my own eyebrows. And so it's been something, but really how I got into microblading, I don't know if you want me to go that far, but I had a friend we were just having lunch and was like, have you heard of this microblading? Let's go do it. And when I started to research it and look into it, there was just so much difference and like variance. And I was like, I want to know more about this. So yeah, I was artistically inclined, but I don't think that that's something that you need to be, because I know as I advance, I still struggle even maybe more than others sometimes in like perfecting this, each style of brow as I move through it. Yeah.
Yes. Because for example, you went through the advanced class, and what were some of the things you learned in the advanced class?
Well, I learned number one, shading, which is something that I went for and is, like the majority of my clients need shading. Mm-hmm. So up to my value. I mean, I was able to raise my prices $100, which is incredible,
And by the way, let's just put that in perspective for everybody. So when you came to the class, you had done 16 treatments the month before. Mm-hmm. You did 20 treatments that month coming out of that class. So 20 treatments, if you can add $100 for your service to all of those treatments, but how many of your treatments do both combination brows?
How many of my treatments do?
Yeah, like what percent? If there's 20 people that come for microblading, how many of them do microblading plus shading?
A good 50%, like 50 to 70%. So like more than half, definitely.
More than half. Okay, so for every 10 treatments, that's about another $700 per month, right?
Correct.
And so on 20 treatments, that's another almost $1,400 per month in income in 1 month, right?
Yep.
That's in 1 month, which right there in 1 month, you've paid for the course.
Oh, I've already returned my investment, and with the the basic microblading online course that I took with Claire, returned my investment in about a week, maybe 2.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Now look, guys, not everybody does that. Okay, so but look, if it takes you, even if it took you 6 months, let's say it took somebody 6 months to recover their investment, and then within a year, they get up to the point that they're making, forget about $200,000 a year, forget about that. What if you're making $50,000 a year, right? $1,000 a week, and you no longer, you can quit your job, and now you're your own boss, and you're making $50,000 a year in your own business, making people smile, making people happy, making an impact on other people's lives, being you determine your own schedule. How cool is that? That's so amazing.
It's mind blowing. I daily have to wrap my head around how fast this is moving. It's just like building and growing beyond me, and I'm sitting here trying to keep up with it. It's been really incredible. And I do want to say that, I returned my investment very quick, but this was also a time I took 3 clients. I took 3 clients at, I think, $299, $300. So, and was still able to doing it like very part-time. So I also had no overhead, which helps, but yeah, it's very doable.
I really suggest that to everybody that starts. Like, you're going to want to figure out a way to do this where you can keep your overhead really, really low. So there's really as little pressure on yourself to perform as possible. Like in Roslyn's situation, what she did is she sort of blended her way out of one thing and transitioned into something new until she decided that, you know what, I'm done poking at this thing. This has a tremendous potential. I can see I can do this, and I'm going to do it. And when she made that decision, she exploded.
Ooh, yeah, it was insane. I definitely, I needed that to feel comfortable. I was dependent on this job and scared of what would happen if it didn't. But here's how I thought about it. Like, what other trade, what other profession could you go to school for? You couldn't go to college and learn a technique like this and, for $3,000 or whatever the cost of the training is. You couldn't go to college and learn a trade for that. Like, it was 100% worth investing in myself. And honestly, it was a small investment. I actually had an Asia trip planned and decided, no, I need to do this now. I had sat and watched Glenn talk to too many people, and I'm like, I'm leaving so much on the table. I'm leaving so much on the table. And I didn't go to Asia, and I went to Master Claire.
And now she's going to the bank.
Now I'm going to the bank.
It's only a joke, folks. It's only a joke. Okay. So, all right. So check this out. I just want to show everybody just real quick. Like, if you are inspired from this conversation and you're like, oh my God, I'd love to try something like this. All right. First, you're going to follow up with the person that introduced you to this webinar. If it wasn't necessarily someone that introduced you to this webinar and you just found it some other way, then you can go to beautyangelsacademy.com and you can find us through there. You can find all of our trainers, all the academies around the world, and find someone that you can connect with. And we'll be happy to speak with you. Our staff is very friendly. We just want to answer your questions and see if a career in microblading is for you. Obviously, we're very passionate about this. We really believe in this. We have lots of students who've become incredible artists like Roslyn with massively successful businesses. And we'd love to help you with this. But let me give you a little sneak peek at the actual course material. Okay. So when you take the basic course, you're going to get access to a 20-level course. Look at this. You can see this here. The microblading technique, how to perform the art, is broken down into levels. First, you learn how to do brow shaping on paper. Then you learn how to do stroke patterns on paper, literally with a pencil. Okay, then you learn stroke patterns on latex, and you learn to do the brow beginning, then connection strokes. So you see, what happens is you learn the various pieces of how to perform the art of microblading. And at each of these levels, you'll see there's an exercise for you to do. And so we show it to you on real skin. We show it to you in an animated scenario. We show you videos with animations. We provide you latex where you can actually literally take your tool and follow the actual hair strokes. So you can literally trace the strokes. You see here we have the dots which make up the shape of the eyebrow. And you learn first simply to connect the dots with the right concave or convex line that goes from one number to the next number. Okay, so we do this in real small bite-sized pieces so you learn how to do it. And then at the end of each course level, you have an exercise to perform. And so you're going to watch the exercise performed, and then you're going to be assigned to do the actual exercise yourself. We even have, I think this is really cool. Claire really wanted to have in here, Roslyn, mistakes videos, right? Yeah. This is really important because a lot of people make like common mistakes. And so we wanted to make this course so detailed that we just show you every angle of this, how to do it in again, small bite-sized pieces and enough that you can just digest one portion and then digest it and wait and move on to the next one. You can go at your own pace. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Roslyn went at lightning speed. You can go at lightning Roslyn Koenig speed, or you can go at your own, let me just walk before I run speed. You can do whatever you like, but we have all of it here. And each time you submit your levels work, you get feedback from your master trainer, and then until you get authorized to move on to the next level. And then you go through all the various levels. Micro shading, okay, which is manual shading, is included in the course. So you learn not only microblading, but micro shading for free. It also comes with an actual manual, which you get access to. Okay, so here's the microblading manual. It's a 57-page manual. And it's got everything that you need. You can see the bite-sized pieces that you start to learn with. But check this out. Look at this. So when you do the advanced course, like what Roslyn did, you get the Angel Kit. This is the advanced kit. This kit comes with lots of cool stuff. It's over $500 worth of products. First of all, it smells amazing.
The products are fantastic. And clients love them. They feel great. They produce amazing results. They're very nice.
Yeah. And so you've got disposable tools in here, different types of disposable tools.
3 sets. Yeah. 3 different kinds.
3 sets. You've got your pigments in here. Okay. You've got aftercare. You've got everything that you would need. Okay. And this is the advanced kit. This is not the basic kit. This is the advanced kit. So then we've also got, for those of you who are just going to learn microblading for the first time, you're going to come to the basic course. And the basic course comes with the premium kit. And so you open your wings. First, you got to flap your wings. Then
it's a requirement.
And then you open your kit and you've got over $900 worth of products in here. It's really cool. I mean, you've got all the disposable tools, the practice latex, the aftercare. It took a long time to design this, and it was designed by microblading artists who have performed a combined probably 10,000 treatments.
Exactly.
Our team knew exactly what you would be experiencing, what you need, and how to learn it as easily as possible and as quickly as possible. Yeah. So we put all those pieces together. So you've got the online course, you've got the kit, and you've got ongoing support. And Roslyn can attest to the ongoing support.
It's incredible. It's honestly like family. The other thing that I want to mention and really make note of is that kit has enough for your first 30 clients. My original kit just had for my first training, I think my first 10 clients, and that lasted me about 3 months because I wasn't taking as many clients just starting off. But you have everything you need, and like you said, Glenn, this was created by people that know what you need. And I think it's really unique in nobody else is doing, having practice latex that has the stroke, so you can feel what that feels like in your hand. Nobody else is doing that, and it is so helpful. This kit is very thorough. Like it's amazing. It's packed full. You guys really did it up.
Oh, thanks. I'm so glad to hear that. And I want you guys to see something that I think is really kind of neat. Check this out. I'm going to share my screen with you here for just a second. This is our, wasn't planning on showing this, but I think this is kind of cool. This is our YouTube channel. Okay. And lots of cool videos that we put on here about lots of different stuff. And we just posted a whole bunch of videos today, actually. But one thing that I want to show you is, let me just make sure I'm sharing with sound. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to debut this right now. This is so cool. Watch this. Roslyn hasn't seen this either. Watch this.
Is it me?
Incredible. Comprehensive.
No.
Angels.
Can you hear it?
Inspiration. Family.
Love. Happiness.
Family. Support. Love.
Empowerment.
Beauty Angels is like a home to me.
Why Beauty Angels? Because it's just not about the money. It's about caring and touching people's lives. Caring for each other, for the masters, for the students. We're a community.
Beauty Angels means to me home. I was welcomed in with open arms. The entire community, they're so friendly.
Because it's able to give me the life that I love, that I gave my kid the life, the comfortable life.
Beauty Angels because I love the love that we share. We all care about each other.
When I heard the word Beauty Angels, it just clicked with me. I am a person that loves empowering women and seeing them success.
Why Beauty Angels? It's the culture, the inspiration, the being genuine with people, caring about each other despite your background, despite your ethnicity, despite where you come from.
They say, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring, and it's like, they make me feel so good.
To me, why I chose Beauty Angels was because of the whole family vibe, the support, the life-changing experience, and it's just out of this world. Words can't explain.
Beauty Angels, it means a lot to me. It changed my life. It took me off one path to get me on the right path.
That was you.
When I heard the word Beauty Angels, I feel like I found my community. I feel like I found my sisters, a family.
Everyone needs support. I think this is such a large industry that people can tend to get lost, not knowing who to learn from, where to learn from, who to listen to, what's right, what's not right, so many different techniques. But just to know that there's a team of people sharing with you, welcoming you, rooting for you to succeed, I think that's why we do.
Cool.
So I've got to say, Glenn, first and foremost, Beauty Angels has like some of the best dance moves in all of microblading. So you guys are doing it right. But really what I want to say is that's exactly how, if I had to make a video or like show you guys, like to try and tell you guys how it felt to be a part of Beauty Angels when I went to my live course, that's how it felt. That video is an encompassment of how it felt to attend a Beauty Angels training. And the support is like unbelievable and unmatched, unsurpassed. I mean, even before I started with Beauty Angels, before I started microblading, you know, I was just like a fangirl, you know, and would message some of, you know, the masters and be like, I'm struggling with this, and what do I use for wipes? And support all around, even outside of Beauty Angels. And it's been incredible, like overwhelming.
I'm so glad to hear that. You know, when we decided to make Beauty Angels, we had a really clear vision to like the whole idea of Beauty Angels, literally from the logo to it's you know, first of all, it's very feminine, and it's just has this like angelic, like feel to it, like a welcoming vibe to it. But we wanted to create this community that would be everything that we always wanted to have for ourselves, which would be just a big group of people who work really hard on themselves to deliver great value for their clients, to try to elevate themselves, people who hold themselves to a standard, and people who care about one another and are authentically willing to help one another. Authentically. Not I pretend like I help you here, but when I turn my back or you turn your back, you get a different person. No, that's not what we wanted. We want a very authentic experience throughout the community, very healthy relationships, and just a very supportive group that really cares about one another. And I hope that we've created that. I feel that we've created that. We talk about it all the time. We do our best to try to lead by example. And we put videos like that together to demonstrate that this is what we're about. This is who we are. This is what we care about. And we want it to translate through our teaching and our education, not just the standard that we hold ourselves to with the materials that we've created and the course that we've created and the standard of quality of education, but the experience that you have when you come to our place. We want you to feel like you've joined a family and you're not doing this by yourself. You're not by yourself, Roslyn. You have a family around you that cares about you, that is here to support you. And if you need help, we're here. That's the message.
It's family, and the energy's there. And if you guys can't feel it, then you're crazy. But, I think one of the biggest things is, relatability and just realness. And I've taken a few trainings now, and it's definitely, it's so important to feel a part of something. You can learn any trade through a computer, through your phone, through whatever app, whatnot. But you're still going to have those. There's still blind spots. There's still trial and error. And knowing that you have support outside of that, or, it doesn't just all end after a 3-month cutoff of support. And then you're on your own. This is continuous, and it's incredible. It's huge.
Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you feel that way, because that's exactly what we were aiming for.
Well, you nailed it.
That's great to know. All right. So listen, guys, if you want to follow Roslyn, you would follow her right here at
Browses.
On Instagram at Roslyn.
Of course, the company that I was trained with. And so they have a lot of tools to help their artists. And so
Koenig is
the app
Koenig.
helps kind of
we'll put
determine the symmetry based on the facial points, the points of the eyes, and all of that stuff. So
my music's still
enjoy watching this.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
All right. Sorry.
Try it again.
So guys, listen, if you're interested in following Roslyn, give her a follow on Instagram, like this video, share the video. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can. We want to invite everybody to learn about Beauty Angels, to join with us. Even if, honestly, forget about just getting certified with us, but if you join our Facebook group, for example, which is, I don't have it up in front of me, but it's Worldwide Beauty Angels Forum. Okay, so Worldwide Beauty Angels Forum. It's a beautiful place where anybody can come. It doesn't matter where you're certified. You can be certified with a different company. Come, share your work, contribute, ask questions, provide guidance, help one another. That's the sort of community we want to create. And we hope that we're serving you in that respect. And Roslyn, thank you so much for sharing your amazing, inspiring story with us today. You are a rocket ship just taking off. You're going to be so successful. I can't wait. You're already successful, but I just can't wait to see what the next 6 months brings. Definitely keep in touch with me, please. I want to bring you back on again on the podcast next time, not in a webinar, but on the podcast. We'll just sort of free flow a little bit. And for those of you who were participating, don't worry, I didn't forget. We owe you a nice little gift that I promised you in the very beginning. So if you're still here at this point and you're registered for the webinar, you're not watching on Facebook or YouTube, but you're actually registered in the webinar, check your email tomorrow. We're going to be sending you a really cool gift that'll give you some insight into what it's like to be a microblading artist. If you'd like to take action, follow up with the person that invited you to this call today and or this webinar. And
feel free to reach out to me. I think one of the big things in starting was just, being able to ask the questions and, tackle those fears. So please message me. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for letting me share my story.
Yes. Probably a good way to contact you is to DM you on Instagram.
I love that.
All right. Perfect. So Roslyn.Koenig on Instagram. Roslyn, thank you so much. You're awesome. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you guys for watching.
All right. Adios, guys. See ya.
Bye.